if you were to look at the entire play areas, safe spaces for our kids, I think that's the watchword, is that we want to ensure that our children are safe. And I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, we probably are sitting at a 7 because we can't ensure safety of every child and every visitor every day, every hour of the day, because it's a matter of resources, actually. And many times we depend on communities to assist us in terms of making it safe. However, if you look at the technical equipment, we can safely say that all of that is very safe because we do regular inspections. But when it comes to the safety, the public safety within our parks and open spaces, we do have a challenge in terms of resources and manpower to ensure that these spaces are very regularly patrolled and looked after. So yes, it is a bit of a challenge.
No, I'm sure it is as well. There's a lot of residents, especially in built-up areas, Mr. Harris, where there's a lot of areas, built-up townhouses, high-rise flats, and then there might not necessarily be space to have a built-up park for them. But the parks are one thing, aren't they? There's also this issue of just open public spaces where children could find, they shouldn't be playing there, but children could find themselves running up and down roads, on the side of pavements, near water drainage areas. And I suppose that's also an issue. You can't man all of it. But I suppose off the back of this very sad loss of the 6-year-old child in Dlamini in Soweto, it does bring to the fore how safe are open public areas, not play areas, just areas where children could find themselves in a bit of trouble. How do we try and get on top of this?
I think one of the promises that we had made right in the beginning of this multi-party's tenure is that we were going to be looking at employing 150 park rangers, particularly for these open spaces. And I think we must be honest with ourselves and say that we are living in a very dangerous environment. And people, for a whole range of reasons, are looking for ways and means of empowering themselves economically so that they can take your phone from you and sell it somewhere for a fix or a meal or something like that. It will happen. Now, our challenge is to weld the resources of JMPD, Johannesburg City Parks and Zoo, and all other resources within the city is to try and put that together so that our citizens can feel safe. I think we are working towards that. That is one of the mayoral committee, priorities, and we are looking towards a safe city. And I believe that this event has been a catalyst that is going to really goad us to go the extra mile, to do better, to break down those silos that exist between the different departments so that SAPS, JMPD, JCPZ, all of us can work together for the common good.
And there's a common good, but of course, as you'll all know, and I think everyone would understand, Mr. Harris, we can't fix all the problems at once, obviously, but I suppose there would be a priority list, and I can't help but imagine, I'm not a parent myself, but I can imagine that there would be areas where children would tend to go that could see more dangerous areas, such as waterways, such as drainage areas, in this case, manhole covers that are left open. So off the back of this, what would be priority number one? You can't fix it all. What about looking at manhole covers and water wastage areas where children could find themselves playing where they shouldn't be?
You know, this is such a technical question because if you look at the silos I was referring to, we got those waterways. Now we have the parks. And in the park, you've got Johannesburg Water, who would be looking after the infrastructure of the pipelines. And then you've got Rand Water involved as well. Now, our challenge, and I think our biggest challenge, is going to start at the source, and that's going to be the scrap metal dealing, because the infrastructure is stolen and stripped so that people can get an income. But it's the people that are buying the scrap metal or the metal. Those are the people that we need to tackle. So I think this is going to be a multi-pronged approach that we are going to be using. And I think it's going to be starting with this issue of vandalism. Because if we can stop vandalism, and if we can start with a program of empowering communities to take ownership of those public spaces. I was at the park earlier today, and I had a look at the illegal dumping that is taking place there. Now, the community will say, and I will put my hand up and say, from a sports and recreation point of view, we have dropped the ball in terms of the facilities that is there. But if you look at the illegal dumping taking place around it, if you look at the fires that are starting for people to burn wire so that they can extract copper wire, all of those illegal things that are taking place around there, I think we need to get to a stage where a community should put their hands up and say, we will take responsibility for not only the aesthetic appeal of the park, but also in terms of looking out for the kids that are playing there. You know, we just come through this, the 16th of June, we had Youth Day, and this entire month is a day of youth. And we complain about youth not having work. But surely, to goodness, if they were to say, listen, as young people, let us take up the cudgels, let us put our hands up and say, we will partner with the Johannesburg City Parks and Zoo, or with Pick It Up, or with Joburg Water, to look after or to have keep an extra eye out.
It's a collective effort, isn't it? I mean, this is what I was saying, Mr. Harris. It's a collective effort. You can't do everything yourself, even as the Community Development MMC. But I think you've raised such a good point about the crime that is causing these issues in the open areas. It's almost a cause and effect, isn't it? You can't fix the effect without dealing with the cause of all of this. Mr. Ronald Harris, I appreciate your time, making some very good points about crime in our country and how that's affecting the safety of these open areas. He's the Joburg MMC for Community Development.